jobs come into. When Danielle's, after she sends the acknowledgement, she'll bring it out here and stack them up. Job,
Gotcha.
and he'll pull, the first one, work on that one, grab the next one. Some of them might be rushed, and they would get pulled ahead of one that might be physically in front of it.
We had one of those yesterday, in the yellow order. That was a hot brush quote.
Over there on the
Yeah,
shelf,
no.
89.
What do you need?
Just trying to think if there's anything else that's relevant to, other than we've gone through, we've entered shop orders, we've created an assembly sheet with all of our repairs needed, taken it through a quote status, received a purchase order from the customer, taken it through all those update statuses. We've done the work on the parts, told the computer that we've done the work, and we've closed out the shop order, printed a shop report, printed NSO or printed labels, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's relevant.
I think you probably pretty much covered it.
I think so too. Just thought we'd take a quick walk around and see if anything else comes up.
How about when the part shows up, where does it show up at? Here.
You mean
And who
the
creates the IC number?
Shipping
DM,
received.
Okay.
shipping and receiving? And that's for every job, not just ones that come to the shop. That's for
So anything that comes in goes to her, and she creates what we went through in the first place,
Yeah, I see.
creating that IC number.
well, there's two different categories of things that come in. There's parts received, things we've ordered that are coming in, or there's jobs, new
Gotcha.
jobs that are coming in where a customer wants us to quote them. So,
Right. So the
if
parts
it's-
she's coming, she just accepts those into inventory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that'd be a different.
And if it's
Yeah.
a job that's an incoming job, then she would assign it an IC file number and differentiate whether it's coming to the shop or whether it's going to the sales department, because the shop doesn't get every smelly box that comes into the building. Some of them, if it's off the shelf items, then the sales department would.
So that's the
typically
NSO.
get it. They don't do NSOs. That's specifically for shop.
Okay.
Because sometimes we do receive things that are on the shelf. But typically they would bypass that whole NSO step, and they would go straight to quote. They would identify it and go straight to quote.
Why would it, what would be an example of one that went to NSO and one that didn't?
Something that is a quick turnaround that we can pull off the shelf that has already been repaired as a reconditioned seal.
Okay, yeah,
good
we
example would be
have
your flight seals.
flight seals that flight seals are a big mover. That's a big portion of our sales. So, and there's only so many different flight seals. There's 3102s, 3127, 3152s. So we will go ahead and pre-repair those and have them sitting on the shelf so that when the customer sends it in, and we can do it on a core exchange basis. We'll take one
I
off the
gotcha.
shelf and send it to the customer, and then put that in a box to repair as a bulk. When we get low on them on the shelf, we'll go through and repair a bulk of 3102 seals.
Gotcha.
And put them on the shelf.
So that don't go to an NSO, then that's
That
just.
would go to an NSO.
Oh, that one does go to an NSO.
That would go to an NSO. That one we did where the customer just sent an S185 seal,
Right.
that would typically not go to an NSO. Except there's certain customers, there's Bob at Nugent, who else? Leanne at Glenville. There's a couple of customers who are not happy with the sales department's performance. So they insist that all their jobs come through the shop. So
I see.
we would enter an NSO on
Something, Skip, that doesn't have
that. Which
to
they're
have
getting better.
all these individual parts written up, all right, to make that seal repaired, right? So an NSO just goes right to the basic top level description and part number. So you're just basically taking it off the shelf.
It's one line item.
Yeah.
It's it. And you don't have to list everything it takes to repair it.
Gotcha.
That's just a quick and dirty way of not creating a bunch of paperwork for an SO that doesn't need to be done.
Going through all the update
All the
statuses, it's
updates,
much
yeah.
more brief to update an NSO.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a quick and dirty way of getting something to the customer without having to go through all these steps.
Gotcha.
So ideally, all the off-the-shelf items, except for those pre-reconditioned flight seals would go to the sales department, but we do have a couple customers that insist that their stuff comes through the shop, so then we do NSOs on those too.
Okay.
But they completely bypass that in the sales department, and they do it a different way. They just go straight to quote.
Makes sense.
But then from there, there's no way of telling whether a job was accepted or not. You know, with our NSOs, we can look at an NSO and know the customer said go, or it's just still hanging out in limbo somewhere.
Well, I'm thinking the whole NSO and SO will be combined into one
Okay.
thing. So if we receive it in, like Cindy said, it's going to get a job number instead of an IC number. It's just get a job number. That job number will follow it through wherever it goes. So you'll look up the customer and you'll just be able to see where it's at. So we might have to differentiate. We might have like an identifier that it was an NSO or a SO, but it won't be a whole separate program.
Okay.
It'll always go through the same thing. But if you choose like an NSO, it's not. We'll just have like fields or
Yeah,
things
you wouldn't
missing.
have to enter all the
Yeah.
parts because the
Yeah, you
part
won't even
is
see
already,
it.
it is just a part.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, if right now we use the IC file identifier and that tracks the job as it comes through the door and then it gets separated to sales or repair, whichever department it needs to go to, would that at that time create a job number instead of just an IC file number?
Yeah.
So
So
that'll automatically become the job.
yeah, the job number will be the job number no matter where it's at, and we should be able to look and see where that's at.
So the IC file number would in fact become the job number.
Correct.
So you're just eliminating a step.
Yeah.
but
Because
there
right now
are
we have to punch in
RFQs.
the IC file number to create this SO,
Right.
right, the shop
Yeah,
order.
the RFQs that they get up front will also have a job number where they don't actually receive a package. Where they just have a customer who calls and says, hey, I've got a Myers 4G pump. They would get that a job number. That would receive a job number just as a box coming into the building, right?
Yep.
Okay. I have to see it in action.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Anything to reduce paperwork.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be able to do that. That's
And right now, here's my pet peeve, and I don't know if I'm, going beyond what you've already discussed, which is, and I don't have any. Oh, Danielle's got it. Let's go to Danielle's and steal her paperwork.
oh shit.
Don't kick the can.
They're kicking the back area.
Yeah.
Be just like the Democrats kick the can down the road.
You can take this other quote too on the.
We just went in a big circle, didn't we?
This is an SO, all right? That purple paper that I just showed you,
yeah.
this is the handwritten form of that. All
Okay.
right, now all this information gets entered in the computer via either Danny or Vicky, and it comes out the computer generated print. All right.
Right.
But this information down here never makes it to the SO computer generated paperwork.
And this is different than this.
This is just notes and stuff that
Oh,
go.
this is notes
Like
section.
Right.
we're gonna reuse
Yeah.
a part. We're gonna reuse their.
Like this is a description of this retainer that we had to buy. But there's all kinds of different things that are noted within the body of this that don't make it to the computer. Everything from here up does. Anything within these lines will make it to the computer.
sense.
But a lot of this stuff does not, and especially on the NSOs as well. If there's a comment line or something like that, that really
Well,
doesn't-
there is a field available
Yeah,
for that. You gotta
which
enter
is
a note.
easier than this one. You can put a comment in the NSOs a lot easier than you can in the SOs.
Yeah, you actually have to go into a different menu to enter a shop note. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So basically,
Notes.
the intention is to put this all online, so one person enters at one time, and it just carries over.
That would be nice.
And then what you're asking for is you just want a note
A
section
note
in there
section, yeah.
as well.
That would be nice.
Okay. Yeah, that's-
Because as it stands right now, if I look at this on the computer, I'm seeing from here up, and I'm thinking, there might be some notes on there that I need to find.
right.
And I have to go up front to the file, get the old job file number, retrieve it, make a copy of it, bring it back, and put the original back in the file. It's a wasted step if we can have all this right on the computer screen in front of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those are shop order notes, and there's also a different kind of notes, which is a note that applies to the customer. Like this customer wants nothing but Viton O-rings in their seals. So we would go in and enter a customer note, shop customer note, that we repair all our seals with Viton O-rings, and it would print at the bottom of every single shop order, so that we
Oh,
can
I
say,
gotcha.
oh, this customer only wants Viton, even though it came in with something different. We're gonna put it back with what they want, Viton.
Okay.
Or this customer has an attitude, charge him double.
Yeah, right. Double it up. Double
Oh,
it
did
up.
I say that out loud?